All right, hey team, Coach Stephanie here with your cool down of the week. We've got 5 stretches for you to go through. And as always, if there's a stretch or a side that needs a little bit more time, feel free to just kind of hit pause, stay in that stretch for a little longer, and then get back to it when you feel ready. So first we're gonna do is tabletop. So we'll have everybody come to a seat with your feet out in front, flat on the floor. And then we're gonna place our hands behind with the fingertips facing forward. Let's go squeeze the shoulder blades together. We're going to extend the arms, so you feel a little bit of stretch in the biceps. And then from here, you have a couple options. We can just scoot the hips forward for an easier, relaxed position. Or if you want to get hips up a little bit higher, then we can get a little bit more stretch in the biceps here. We're just going to hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and drop the hips down. Just a little release of the hands. We're going to do that one more time. All right, so hands go behind you again. So we set up first, straight arms, proud chest, so squeeze shoulder blades together. And if you need more, scoot the hips forward. Or if as you lift the hips, you want to shift the hips forward towards the heels, you're going to get a big stretch through the front of the shoulders. We'll hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Go ahead and release. And let's come to tabletop position. And we're going to go into Cobra. So from here, an easy way to get into Cobra is just to scoot the knees back and then just to allow the hips to reach down towards the floor. If your lower back is feeling anything, like a little bit of pain or anything, just tighten those abs a little bit, and that's going to help protect the lower back. But we're just kind of pushing through the palms, and we're lifting the chest, trying to get a stretch through the front body. Then you can look over one shoulder and the other shoulder. Good. Let's go ahead and sit back into a seated position on the shins. So next up, we have a calf stretch. We have a couple ways we can do this. Today, we're going to do this in downward facing dog. And so we'll kind of go back and forth between each side. We'll take a little rest, and then we'll do it one more time. Okay, so let's get into an easy down dog, hands at about shoulders distance. And you're just going to tuck your toes and lift your hips. Okay. So on this first one, you're just pedaling out the heel. So bring one heel down, bend the opposite knee. And you're just going to go back and forth like that a couple times, feeling for the calf muscles to get a little bit longer, feel a little less tension as you're stretching. Couple more. Good. And then go ahead and bring the knees down. Okay. And take a little rest. And so on this one, we're going to go back into down dog, but we're going to orient our hips a little bit differently so we get a lot longer of a stretch from the calves and maybe even into the hamstrings. So we go back to that downward facing dog. And then here's where we set up a little bit more specifically. So get your feet about hips distance. And you're going to take your tailbone and arch it up towards the ceiling. So you feel a little bit longer through your spine. Your heels might not be on the floor yet because with that spine length, it might be a little bit tougher. And so from here, we do what we can as we keep the hips lifting high and the heels dropping down towards the floor. And so in this position, I'm getting a lot of stretch in the calf, and I'm getting a little bit more in the hamstrings. I'll just stay here for a couple more moments. Good. All right, go ahead and release that. Okay. And then next up, we've got thread the needle. So thread the needle is a twist, and so we're looking for a twist kind of in this mid-back position. So hands and knees. We're going to start on the left side. Okay. So I'm going to reach my left arm out, and then I'm going to scoop it under and through and drop down to my left shoulder. Okay. So my head is on the floor, and then my right hand drops to the ground, and I'm just going to push through my right palm to give me a little bit more leverage to twist. Feel the right hip kind of reach back as you are rolling your right ribs behind you. Good. And then coming back to our hands and knees. A little wiggle of the hips to reset. And then we're going to go second side. So right arm out, Thread it through. We draw it down to the right shoulder. Head comes to the ground. And then you're going to press your left palm down firmly as you rotate the torso up. Feel the left ribs roll back and your left hip reach back. Good. And then go ahead and come on out of that. And then the last one we've got is a kneeling hamstring stretch. So when I get into the position, you'll see where my fingers go and my hands go. If you do need a little bit of height help, then we can get a block. We can actually also get a plate. I know that's heavy, but we can get a plate and put it underneath. So I'm going to start in a kneeling position here. I'm going to go left side so you can see it first. And we're just going to send that left leg out in front. You can also, if this right knee feels a little not so great on the thin mat, you can flip it over so you've got cushion on the knee. But I'm going to extend this left leg out. The heel is down. And I'm going to take my left hip and I'm kind of just re-square it forward. And then I can bring my fingertips down to the ground, or here's where you would have that block if you needed it. And I'm going to take my chest and kind of reach it towards the toes so my spine lengthens a little bit, just like that down dog. And then I feel a lot more focused stretch in the backs of the hamstrings rather than in the calf on this one. So we'll just stay here for a couple breaths. Good. All right, let's go ahead and bring your torso up, and we'll just switch sides. And again, pad the knee if you need it. Make sure now when you extend your right leg that we've squared the hips a little bit more towards the front so that as we bow, we've got a good hip position. One side might be tighter than the other, so like my right side is a little bit tighter. And so I might, if I was doing this at home, I might spend a little bit more time just in this stretch on this side, just to make sure that it gets a little bit of extra time and an extra length. Reaching that chest towards the toes will kind of give you a little bit more tension in the back of the upper leg. Good. All right, and then we come out of that. Cool. Well, thank you for joining me for your cool down of the week. It's so important for you guys to recover and use that as a way to help you stay strong and ready to train every day. And so thank you, and I'll see you guys next time.